If you want to share anything, feel free. Otherwise, we will move on.
I'm driving, so I'm just listening.
Okay, you got it, Crystal. Okay, guys, so we are going to go right into it with our SLT training review. So we're going to take about 20 minutes. Each of us inside of our group will break you up into small little breakout groups, just to have a little bit of a chat around the areas. If we're splitting up responsibilities, what is it that we're going to do, just as in terms of who's going to be speaking when and what we're going to be sharing. We do have the agenda in the slide deck. So the areas that we are going to have multiple people presenting together. Eden and I are going to do the welcome and introductions. Gus and Crystal, you're going to be talking about the SLT 101 and Chancellor's Regs. Mr. Sarin is going to be talking about the progress monitoring slide, so he's going to be on it all on his own island. Rachel and Rob, you're going to be doing the work around MTSS. And then Paula, obviously you have your own slide deck. You know that one already, so I don't know how much review you're going to really have to do there. But we're going to take a little bit of time just to kind of go over the slides, make sure that everyone is comfortable, and that we can do it in the time frame which is currently set up. So, which might be a little bit tricky for some of us, dependent on the information that's present. Eduardo, I encourage you to join on to any one of those groups, just so that you have, a space of being able to be there as a layer of support. When we're going through this process, that would be fantastic if you can do that. And the other thing that I'm going to ask, listen, guys, 2 hours is a long time to listen to people. If we could look at our slides in really closely, where can we say less? And then at the end of it, give an opportunity just for the schools to have a minute or two to talk. Because listening for that long, one, you guys know what's going to happen. People will be on their Zoom, cameras off, doing whatever it is that they need to do at home, and I get it. I totally get it, and I understand how that could become a reality. But if we could look at our slides, what big question or questions would we want to give at the end, even if it's 5-10 minutes? Just guys, take a few minutes of pause based on what I have just shared. We'll pop them right into their breakout rooms for their schools. And they can have at least 5 minutes to talk about what we've just discussed. So if it's around MTSS, we don't have a huge amount of time for MTSS already, it's 20 minutes, but if we can give them 5 minutes to do that. I'm going to ask Uma to do that for progress monitoring. And Eden and I will try to work on where we can do that in the short window that we have for the introduction. So we're going to have to be like Micro Machines commercials in the beginning. At least for Eden and I, because there's a lot to say there. But at the same time, we want to try to make sure that folks can communicate with one another and not just have to listen the entire time. So we're going to take the next 20 minutes. I'll pop you guys into a little breakout room just so you can have a quick little chat around what's there. So what I'm going to do first is give you some time just to review on your own. That way, when you get into those breakout rooms, actually, we'll just put you in the breakout room for 20 minutes. You guys can organize how you want to review and then chat. But 20 minutes sound like enough time? Yes? Anyone think you need more than that? Less than that? 20 minutes should be good? Okay.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to put you guys into the breakout rooms.
Hi, Crystal.
Hi, I'm driving. I'm pulling over. I'm going to pull over right now so I can pay attention. Okay?
Okay. I have a virus, so I'm struggling with a cold, so that's why my voice might sound funny.
Okay. Okay, I just pulled over, and now you have my attention.
Yes, please be careful, Crystal.
All right, Ma, you can log off. Do you have any questions?
I don't have to stay on for this?
No. Dr. Mike just wants to know if you have any questions. Your slides are you all set?
I have my presentation, I'm fine. And I could, at the end, I know I have to speed it up anyway.
Okay.
All right, I was able to get on Zoom, which was the main thing. I thought maybe I would have had a problem, but no problem.
With not without ending it. Yeah, I don't think so.
Louis, this is crazy. I don't have this on my calendar. By accident, I looked at Mike's calendar and I saw that there's a DLT meeting. I remember that there was one because I figured maybe it's canceled. How come it's not on my calendar? Is there a
I don't
reason?
know. Jenny said the same thing, so I don't know. Yeah, 'cause it's on my calendar.
Yeah, it's not on my calendar. I mean, I'm glad that I
Okay.
checked Mike's calendar today.
All right, Lou, so I could log off, right?
Yeah, you're
Yep,
good,
you're
Paul.
good.
Okay, I'll talk to you later then. All right, bye.
Let me just let them know I'm going to bring them back in because I don't think they can even let me do that. Ugh, I hate it when I do that.
Well, Dr. Mike, you did hear the good news, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I did.
Okay.
You're going to start hearing people ask for things now, Paula.
What's the
I
good news?
already
We got
did.
money?
I
We got
already
money?
did.
What's
I
the
don't know
good
that that
news?
makes sense to do those types of things, though.
What?
I'll talk to you about it. A request I
Okay,
already
okay,
received.
okay, goodbye.
Okay, we're all done.
Guys, I'm sorry about that. I forgot to set the timer. He was going to pull you back in like 2 minutes. So I'm going to resend the options. So sorry about that. And we'll do 18 minutes since I just messed that up. All right, sorry, I'm going to resend you back out. We'll have 18 minutes. Thanks, guys.
Mike, can you hear me?
I can, Gus.
Yeah, it would be helpful if we knew the number of slides that we should do. Can you let us know we're from number whatever to whatever? That way, we won't go over, additional ones.
So Gus, whatever you think is important for us to cover inside of that space, so we have allotted 40 minutes for you. I mean, a
Okay.
lot of these slides.
Oh, okay. So
Well, no, the slides have already been cut down. Gus, I think what Gus is
so we're
asking is
doing-
which one should he do? And I think
Yeah.
that's what you're doing now. You and Crystal should determine that
Right.
now.
So we're doing
Yeah.
all of the ones that you sent me, I guess. Is that
Yes,
right?
it's a shorter deck. Yeah.
Provided that you think
That's
that we're
fine.
good inside of it,
Yeah.
Gus. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we're fine.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. That's helpful.
You got it.
Mike, in terms of the flow, Lewis is going to be showing all of the slides for everybody, or are we uploading and then waiting for things to, share and so on?
So all of the slides are already up there. It would probably be best whomever it is that is presenting manage their slide, just so that you guys have the cadence of what you want to be able to say when. But they will all be up there and available. We can probably just have the agenda ready for you with all of the links, so that when it's your go, all you do have to do is click the link in the presentation. It might slow it down if we're asking someone else to manage the slide deck as we're going through.
Okay. All right, so
But yeah,
we'll upload
they'll
them.
all be accessible to all of you guys. It's right in today's agenda. And we'll have it shared. If it becomes an issue, then you let me know, Gus.
Yeah.
And we can certainly help.
Lewis always jumps in
Yeah,
and
I
saves the
could
day.
I could share this slides, but like Mike said, it's easy.
Yeah.
The flow is
It's
better
easier.
because
It's
when
easier
to
for
push
us to
next.
do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Everyone feeling comfortable right now with who's going to be sharing what? Anyone uncomfortable with anything? It should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, thanks, Eden. I think my biggest part is managing to say less. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I got to work on that for myself, to say less so that we can get right through it. We will have a couple of different spaces where we'll try to create a little bit of an opportunity for talk. So most definitely during the progress monitoring section, Umit will only share for one of the goals how we're progress monitoring, and then we'll ask the other groups, all the groups that'll be present. We'll create 34 rooms based on the schools that will be there. That way they can hop in In most cases, they will have someone else to be able to talk to. In those cases where it's just one person, they can remain back in the big room and they can have a chat with me if they like. So that, you know, we have opportunities for everyone to either ask a question or think through some of the things that they just heard in their own group with their own schools. So we will do that for progress monitoring. We'll do that for MTSS. And then, you know, Paula will do her piece on the budget and we will bring it all to a wrap. Okay.
The for the breakout rooms, I was gonna make a slide that just has like breakout room number 1 and what DBN.
Yeah.
Because we can't rename 40
Yeah, that's fine.
breakout rooms. So
Yep.
we'll have that slide that we can shoot up so that people say, okay, I'm from this school, I'm gonna join breakout
I'm
room
going to
number
breakout room
17.
1. Perfect.
Yeah, whatever it is. So I'm gonna
Yep.
have that ready. And then just so everyone knows, as of this morning, for
Hello.
oh,
Yeah,
we're back.
sorry, we froze, guys.
All
We
right.
Sorry.
froze.
So
Yeah.
registration is 151 people for 4 and 110 people for 7.
Bravo.
Very good. Yeah, I think we're probably short here or there in terms of some people that haven't registered, but you know, that's 260 people across the district is good. Okay. All right. Any questions about this afternoon? All right, listen, I think we're in good shape. I know we're going to have a couple of little areas where, you know, some of us might have to pick up for one of our DLT colleagues because District 26 has theirs going on at the exact same time as us. So Gus does serve multiple districts. Eden is on in multiple districts, and I think Rachel might also be supporting both us and District 26 as well. So Rachel, you too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys going to be doing a little bit of tag team action
Jumping
for
around.
both districts and hopping around. So if there are any issues, just let us know so that, you know, we can support as much as possible. Okay, good. So just moving on with the agenda, I know that Eduardo just made a request. He said he has to hop into another meeting. I want to give the high school superintendent an opportunity to share their report. So Eduardo, we're going to switch around the agenda a little bit so you can present.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Trying to again sending a request so I can share my screen. Share sound as well. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, so I've been doing a lot of web work recently, just so to keep our community informed. Again, our website is queensnorthhs.org, and here you'll find a lot of information that I've been updating, including the district parent leaders conference that we all attended at LaGuardia Community College, as well as some newsworthy information that is and events that are happening in our schools. Up next, we have our Queens North High School Fair coming up this week, Wednesday, November 5th, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Martin Van Buren High School. All this information, including the flyer and details, is posted on our website. Again, I have been adding a lot of events, including workshops for parents. These are all of our events. We have a total of 5 workshops in November. And these are the topics parents can register. Everyone is welcome. These workshops are provided through our community partner, which is Marble Hill. And so all the information is there. Even some of the workshops are in Spanish, and also developing emotional intelligence. We have dealing with anxiety. We also I'm also advertising our the citywide transition summit for high school students. The flyer and information is all here and is translated in about 8 languages. So I try to make it easy and I combine all these PDFs so parents can just scroll to the language that they prefer. Again, all this information is available on our website. And if we go to the month of December, we have 4 workshops coming up, managing social media over the winter break, driving together, improving family communication, supporting your child with stress, and so on and so forth. So please, I invite everyone to explore our website and see what the options are that we're offering in terms of family workshop offerings for the month of November and the month of December. And that is my high school update for today. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much, Eduardo. Appreciate you sharing. Yeah, listen, I think the more that we can get out there, what we're doing, the better off our community is. So, taking advantage of the tech tools is something that we have to really continue to explore. I know Mr. Marino and I were talking quite a bit about AI and making sure that it's making its home in our schools in different ways and allowing our jobs to become more efficient and not impacting us with the amount of time sometimes that things take to do.
Yes, yes.
So
I forgot to mention one more thing. Under our parents section, I added, resources for our immigrant community, as well as to information on SNAP, in case for those families that are affected. I did, the pantry finders, and for additional questions, the websites that they can visit in order to obtain more information and support. Thank you.
thanks, Eduardo. And the scenario with SNAP, I know that Lamar is going to bring something up in a little bit, just around ways that we might be able to contribute. I know some of our schools are doing that on their own. They're doing, whether it's food drives or what have you, or they have their own pantries available. And maybe there are some ways that we can think about it through the district lens and on how we can support as well. I don't have a necessarily great answer to say, okay, let's just do this. Because our district is pretty expansive, so we can't necessarily have just a district location where it can impact everyone. But maybe we can think a little bit more deeply around how we can support that too. So more to follow on that. But just going back to my presentation, and we will make this quick because we do have a big night ahead of us. But I just want to share a couple of quick things with you guys. Arts funding, wanted to make sure that everyone is aware that we received $75,000 for the arts. The 3 groups that we utilize our dollars with, and when I say utilize, I had to put them in budget lines, and the max that we could spend is $25,000 on any one of these organizations. And so the groups that I put money into right now, and we have to work on organizing how we'll spend it, but $25,000 for Arts Connection, $25,000 for Flushing Town Hall, and $25,000 for Studio in a School. When I shared this with the CEC, a couple of things that they were excited about was the idea of doing an arts festival, some kind of an arts festival where we bring parents and kids together to do something that is really exciting about the arts. So we're going to start exploring that. But if you guys have any recommendations, that would be great too. I know last year we were able to do some cultural shows that our schools were able to take advantage of, whether that was celebrating our Hispanic culture in the district or our Asian culture. I know that many of our schools were able to offer this as an opportunity. But if there are any quick thoughts, I know that soon enough I'm going to have to start reaching out to our institutions about how to spend the arts funding. Does anyone have anything that hits them right away that you say, it would be nice if we do something along these lines from the district lens, maybe something that invites parents and kids together? To me, that is what I would love to do. $75,000. Well, it sounds like it's a lot. It's not really all that much money when you think about it. But last year we were able to support a lot of schools with at least a show that they got to bring grade level groups in. Anyone have any thoughts, on how we can kind of utilize it efficiently across the district?
I have a suggestion. So,
Yeah.
materials for the arts, they usually have a couple of resident artists that can do workshops for parents and students. And I have seen how they efficiently, and they have everything. They have all the materials there. So I usually bring all of our Queens North parent coordinators for our June meeting. That's usually our final meeting. It's usually a materials for the arts, and they also get treated to what is called a light shopping experience, where they get different materials to either supplement an event that is happening in their schools, a parent event, or even decorate a parent welcome space. And so they're really great in providing workshops that incorporate creativity, works of art that include parents and students.
Thank you for that, Eduardo. Anyone else? Any thoughts?
Mike, in the past, District 25 has exhibited student work at the Queens Museum.
Mhm.
So you might want to talk to them about exhibiting some of the art that's produced from the schools and highlight, the schools and the kids in the Queens Museum. They're a city agency after all.
Thank you, Gus.
I'd say that I'm always an advocate for art making when it comes to like children creating stuff, but we do a lot of that in the schools. So if you have the opportunity to provide us with a performance, a ballet, the opera, as New York City, it's the cultural center of North America, and if we could get kids, I mean, my third grade, when I was the principal of our school when I was in elementary school, Dr. Levitman at PS 91 in District 24 took us to see South Pacific, which was such an odd choice, but I'll never forget it. It was like this huge, massive opera, and these people like singing in such a profound way that gave me an experience that I would never have gotten. So even
Right.
something like, art's not just a cool play that kids would like, which is more or less what they would watch at home, but it's in play version. But maybe
Right.
something culturally outside of the realm of what they would choose themselves, exposing them to something.
Yeah. So we did put aside, and it's not in my budget yet, but there was like a few thousand that were also towards Broadway style shows. The trouble is that I can't, not with that much money, actually wouldn't even put a dent when you think we got 23,000 kids. The number of shows people that I would be able to support that with is not as plentiful as I would hope. But we did put some money aside as well. Hopefully that shows up in the budget too, for Broadway shows too also. But we can do some in-school shows. Certainly not the same level as what you would see on Broadway in terms of the enormity of the experience, but I know that those went over pretty well last year too. The China dance performance was really good, from what I understand. We had a Mexican, an African drumming scenario, so we had a number of things that happened, and we'll try to do some of that too, and wherever we can get kids into experiences is what I would love to do. Flushing Town Hall got great feedback last year, and they're right here, so we'll try to tap into each of them, and as those dollars become available in my budget, we'll work towards spending it down and getting some feedback from you guys. So just something for you to think about between now and next month, because I would love for schools to start getting going in December-ish, January, if we can. Okay. Moving right along. These are just some important dates for you guys. We're having an L training for our multilingual learner families. November 12th. It is an English version with Spanish translation. specifically for Spanish-speaking families. We'll have a Mandarin only, speaking only session on November 19th. Again, all the support language at home and in school. The special education session is on the 24th, and then we will have a mathematics virtual session on the 25th. So encourage families, we're going to continue to get the information out there for everyone. These are just some enrollment dates. I'm not going to read through all of these. We talk about them often, but just know that they are here. Make sure that you're comfortable with them, and you can talk about it with any of your constituent groups, that we keep our fingers on this, so that if families need to know, we can bring them to a space of understanding. So all of those are here, from middle school admissions timeline to kindergarten, which is coming up soon, to 3K pre-K beginning in January, and then G&T in April. So just making sure that you have awareness of these, so that if anyone needs you, you know where to find the information. SLT survey, we're going to end our training session with this. So we'll be put into the small little closing deck that I will create for anyone that is there to please complete this both in each of the sessions. So we should have upwards of the 260 plus responses before the end of the night, which will give us a little bit more to look at in our December meeting, which, by the way, is in person, just so that I don't forget to say that later. December's meeting is an in-person session here at Linden. Our goals, you guys know what these goals are already, just to give you a little bit of an update on data. So iReady reading and Acadians, just take a moment and glance at that, please. That would be great. I'll move to the next slide. Take a moment, just take a look at that as well. You'll see orange is 25, 26. The navy blue is 24, 25. And the lighter blue is 23, 24 for each of the subgroups. And now here's Acadians. Let's take a moment to review the Acadians. Any noticings? Guys, from these three slides, here's the overall. Here's the iReady breakdown. And then here's the Acadians proficiency from our baseline. Any noticings? Anyone want to call out anything? And a couple of things that you should notice if you didn't, is that our starting place is relatively similar to past years when we're looking at it across grades. You will see that there is a slight difference in terms of entry point in iReady. That's for 3 to 8 for each of our subgroups. It's not a significant difference. Our kids aren't expected to be at grade level standard at the beginning of the year. The goal is that we reach it by the end of the year. Things that we're going to be doing as a result, our focus is to make sure that we are prioritizing our standards that have consistently come up around themes, central message, and supporting details in the text. Those typically are areas that come up on a routine basis. So in alignment with our priority, we're going to be spending a lot of time unpacking our standards and thinking through our resources to support improvement. We're going to continue to identify our learners in need of targeted intervention, which we've shared in the past will be around SPIRE, the phonics for reading, rewards, and just words for our kids in grades 3 to 8. And for our younger kids, what we do know is that first sound fluency, phoneme segmentation, and nonsense word fluency continue to be areas that we want to grow in, especially for our kids in K through 2, to make sure that we built up that decoding muscle so that our kids can read with fluency. And that is one of the parts that I know for our kids that we're consistently trying to build. It's not so much that they can decode now as that can they decode and read across the page with that automaticity, because when they don't, and I can speak for myself as an adult, and you guys might nod your heads too, there are times when I'm just kind of looking at words and not really absorbing them. And then I get through the end of the sentence, I'm like, oh my God, what did I just read from word 1 to word 10? And I think the same thing will happen to our kids unless we build that muscle. So, more on this will continue to be a focus of ours across the district. Few other quick things. Our SEL survey, what we're going to continue to build on here as a district. You'll notice that for the most part, the range for our kids in like the 70th 70% agreement range on most of these questions for our learners. As we get older, the numbers and the percentages start to go down in terms of any one of these components, whether it's community agreements, the connection before content and how they feel about it, their relationship skills, although it's still in the 70s, which I'm encouraged by. But as you look through this, you'll see that there are certain areas that our kids tend to struggle with more, and self-management, social awareness, supportive school environment, those are all things that we do need to continue to work on. A few things that you guys should know that we are going to continue to do, when we just started to build across all of our middle schools, we're developing a peer mediation program, which is exciting. We've been working with OSYD. We've had children trained at our middle school level for half of our middle schools. The other half are still yet to be trained, but they're in process of, with the goal of supporting conflict resolution, at the middle school level. So more to follow on that, but we are adding that to the space of learning for our kids, so that they can be part of the solution, which I think oftentimes they're not always. So we do want them to be part of the solution moving forward, and we want our schools to be really able to utilize this data to help make decisions that'll help support the kids, in their growth at the school level. So continued emphasis on relationship building, the use of the Mind Up lessons as well, with connection before content and Mind Up SEL as we move forward. Mathematics, really quick, just take a quick glance, and we'll spend more time in December going over this, but just so that you guys have a frame of reference around the data. You'll see more of a positive trend in mathematics over the years than you did in reading, especially from 23-24. We added 22 here as well, just to give you a little bit of an understanding of how some of those children that were one grade level or below have now since moved to that early on or above. It's about an 8% change from 23 to where we are currently, and testing the same grade level groups with the same screener. You'll also see that in the percent breakdown, although the entry points are low here, we do need to improve for our targeted subgroups, there's no doubt. Particularly our Hispanic learners, our Black learners, our children with IEPs, and our Ls. The starting place is rather low when you consider the overall starting place here. Overall is 33%, and then when you look at our targeted subgroups, their starting place is much lower. So it's really digging into our new curriculum and Amplify for our upper grades and those that are piloting, as well as building through sense making, which we're going through at our training sessions at the district level. So more to follow in terms of progress on this as we go through the year. But we will keep our eye on the prize when it comes to that. Civics for All and the Take Action projects we're in a good space with our latest training that we had. We had representatives from across the district at our session to begin Project Soapbox, and thinking through what those Take Action projects will be moving forward. Jenny and one of our CEC members have been going to schools to support Safe for College. We are really hoping that 10% increase does happen as the year goes on. We'll give you a little bit more of an update on what they are seeing in terms of change in the number of accounts that are activated over the next several months in consultation with New York City Kids Rise. So we'll give you an update shortly after they start engaging our schools, which I am excited about, as they're coming at it from multiple angles. Jenny with her capacity to speak Chinese, and one of our CEC members with the capacity to speak Spanish, and connecting with our communities to make sure that they are aware of what the program is and how to support it. Parent survey. This I am going to do a video request from, it will be me doing a short little video request for all of our families. We had like 600 responses from the parent survey thus far to see what their perspective is. You can see here briefly what that data looks like. Our percentages for the most part are in the 90s in terms of parents and whether or not they agree or disagree. And I did take your feedback inside of this space. I know some of you asked to remove, I think it might have been you, Rob, that said, let's remove that neutral and just say agree, disagree, rather than keeping it as broad as it was. And we added a couple of other questions that were requested as well to get some additional feedback from our community. The one that's really, really interesting, and I'm going to be tapping into some local organizations, wing from our team, is going to be helping us organize some workshops for families based on SEL and parenting. We had almost 300 of the 644. There were over 350 parents that said, yes, please give me some more SEL support at home and more parenting support. So we're going to be doing some outreach to them, and as well as our schools to organize around this. But just to give you guys a little bit of an update on what that looks like, I'm hoping with my video message that more people will complete it. So stay tuned on that, and we'll kind of go from there. And lastly, chronic absenteeism. I am also going to do a little bit of outreach from the district lens as well as our schools. We typically do pretty well at the beginning of the year. We're second highest attendance rate in New York City right now, which is fantastic. But we know that December, January, February are often tough months. So I want to keep pushing out that message to make sure that our kids stay in school and that our parents continue to make great choices for their kids, keeping them good and healthy to be in our buildings as well. But that concludes, my space. I did want to keep it short so that we can get on with their day, because I know many of you will be on later. So any questions or comments about what I shared? Okay, we're good. All right. Mr. Marino, anything from CSA?
We had our annual conference this Saturday. It was a well-attended event, which culminated in an announcement from the Chancellor and Henry, our president, stating that all schools will be held harmless this year, which is great news. And we are very happy about that. Other than that, we'll just keep on keeping on our side of the fence over here.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob. And Rob, you want to quickly just touch base with everyone around kind of bringing in some AI training? I know that's something that you guys were thinking about too.
Yeah, the whole theme of the morning was around how educators can not just use AI, but use it in a way that is ethical, that doesn't remove the human element, our creativity, and our expertise from it, but use it as a productive tool to allow us to do more in the during the one thing that we can't create more of, which is time. And some of my colleagues are using it for ways, you take notes in a meeting, you take those notes, you put it into an generative AI, and it could give you an email to send out based on those notes. It could give you preparation actions to get that information into place for your school. It could aggregate data for you as an administrator, teachers. It can use it to take information they have from students and create plans to support them, but we want to do it in a way that's ethical, that makes sense. And while this is still relatively new, although it's not that new, we want to be ahead of that curve. So me and Principal Abbott from Bell Academy will be meeting with someone who Dr. Dantona has put us in to contact with to kind of flesh out what it is that we could be best supported in with this work.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. And I'm excited about that. And the whatever we can do to tap into the technology to make our lives easier and more efficient, I'm certainly all for. And there is a reality to only the 24 hours in a day, right? And sometimes it feels like we need more hours in that day in order to accomplish what we need. So I think the purposeful use of the digital tools is a really, really important thing. And we have to embrace some of the things that sometimes folks feel concerned about. And it's the AI is accessible to our kids all day, every day, and we need to learn it better so that we can help them become more efficient consumers of it too. Because every one of those tools are great, but if we don't know how to use it, can become a problem at the same time. So more to follow on that, but thanks for sharing, Rob. Appreciate it. Lamar, anything from UFT?
Yeah. So, hi everybody. Good morning. You can hear me, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we also had our teacher union day event yesterday, which was well represented by our district. Two of our chapter leaders, Mario at 185 and Nicole at 129, were awarded the Eli Trachtenberg Award, which is it acknowledges the chapters, the school chapters that are really active and do exceptional work and are involved, and that the chapter leaders are, helping to support our union work and our union message, which makes my work a lot easier. So it was great to support them. We had a great turnout there in terms of District 25. We also, to touch on what you mentioned earlier, we are in the this was an off the record conversation, but we are in the very, very, very early stages of what you mentioned. Well, PS21 was thinking about, and I use words like they're thinking and maybe and possibly, but the conversation came up about possibly having a food pantry in the school, like maybe by the lobby. And that conversation led to maybe this is something we could do in that part of our district up in the Whitestone area, or maybe we can do this district wide. Who'd be interested? And I don't have any commitments from anyone yet, but it is something that we kind of want to explore within the next, X amount of weeks or months and see where we can go with this. So I think it'd be really, really great to engross ourselves in our school community, and within our parents and such, more so than we already do. So we're really looking into that. And then last, we're doing I got a phone call, an email from St. John's University from their ticket sales. So they offered us the opportunity to go as a district to a basketball game against Ole Miss at the Garden on Saturday, December 6th. So I spoke with Eden about it and saying, well, they're recognizing it as Educator Appreciation Night. Great, yeah, woohoo. But then why not if they're educators, if there are teachers who want to go, maybe we can get some parents involved too and make it a really strong community event. So I don't have the flyer today. They're working on it. They said they'd have it for me by Wednesday. So assuming we can get it done by Wednesday, I'd love to just share it with you all and help spread the word in our district to our parents, to our staff, and so, and let's make a nice day out of that event as well.
Yeah, thanks, Lamar. Yeah, the only thing, what the flyer looks like, we'll have to review to make sure that it doesn't have anything there that gets us into any kind of murky water about receiving something.
Understood.
But in general,
Understood.
Yeah, in general, the idea of being able to come together in community, I think, is a good thing. And I know that's something that Eden, myself, and Rachel have been talking about as well. Continuing this whole CEC district collaboration around promoting community-based types of opportunities. And I think both the notion of a pantry as well as the idea of just coming together for a game, are good opportunities for folks to come together. But there are things there that we do have to make sure we're mindful of, as while receiving tickets is great, it does come with its space of the fact that we're receiving something. So we have to definitely loop those in that need to be looped in to make sure that we are all as copacetic there.
Well, for the record, we do have to pay for them. They're not free.
Okay, good. Perfect.
Yeah, just so you're aware of that. Yeah.
Perfect. Then that makes me feel better. As long
There
as
you
I'm
go.
not anywhere on the form that says talk to Mike about it.
You
But
and me
Dr.
both.
Mike, just so you know, if we sell out, we sell out.
Oh yeah, well
That
listen,
too.
that's a different thing altogether. And listen, Eden, you weren't part of the CEC when this happened, but years ago we used to, at the district level, organize going to the Mets games. And we went to the field level and everything. The kids got to go on the field, celebrate, and we had to stop that. So it was, in our mind's eye, it was like, oh, what a great opportunity. But one game, Lewis, how many did we do that one year? I think we did 3 separate games, because the amount of folks that wanted to go one game wasn't enough.
They
And
didn't,
we
yeah,
were
they couldn't
hearing
give
the
us enough
same,
tickets.
we heard the same feedback. Like, how could you offer something that not everyone has a chance to do? So it went from 1 game to 2 games to 3 games where we were on the field. I think, they even had some of us throw out the first pitch or be part of the first pitch ceremony. But that was also problematic, and they told us that we could not do that any longer. So that's why we don't do it anymore. But it's a game like St. John's, that's a different scenario. I don't control that. I won't put a stamp on that. I think it's nice for everyone to do, but I can't enter as the organizer, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything from CEC, Eden?
So our next meeting is this Wednesday at 7. We will have somebody going over high school admissions for those 8th grade parents. I was actually going to ask Lewis if he wants to send out a lovely RSVP again. And then, yeah, we're going to be working with Lamar to get this event kind of going. We will have to cap it somewhere, obviously, but Lamar and I are working out the logistics with that. But definitely the conversation that Dr. Mike and I were just kind of hinting at in general for schools, just being mindful where it is a first come, first serve, but also talking about inclusivity of like the students. That's something that's come up recently in my school. And we know it's obviously not just one school that's going to run into that problem. So we want to make sure that we're like really talking about like inclusivity and how to make sure that everyone who wants to be included can be included. So that's something I'm going to be bringing up with the CEC also, just as a result of some lovely events that played out over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, thank you for that, Eden. Is SCA coming too? Or
They're
no?
not coming to this one. They
Okay.
said they can come in December.
Okay, cool.
So is the big hook for this month is the high school admissions presentation?
Yes.
And who's doing it? Nicole?
Nicole.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
know we have
Good.
3 different levels of interpretation this time. So we don't have just the Chinese. We also have Spanish. And I think one other one she had mentioned, Egypt. I don't remember who it is offhand, but we do have interpretation
So
for
in-person
other languages.
interpretation
Yeah.
for other languages. Okay. Yeah, I'll draft a message to families inviting them.
I meant to tell
got
you
it.
Friday, but with Halloween, I just completely forgot.
It's all good. Listen, I probably wouldn't have sent it anyway until tomorrow. It'll be good.
Okay, awesome. And Rachel, anything that from President's Council?
Yes, we had quite a discussion at our last meeting regarding the latest direction from the Chancellor's office regarding bake sales, and there never
The candy
used to.
issue, I think, Rachel, was the biggest part of it.
Yes, the candy issue about not selling candy and soda, and for those schools that already have a supply, what to do with that. And so we did have some answers at our meeting, but my co-president Veronica is going to address these issues at the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council meeting, the CPAC, which is a citywide meeting that she attends. So we'll see what feedback, if any, we'll have any updates for the next meeting. But it has impacted quite a few schools in our district that have purchased candy or supplies that they wanted to sell to the students that, based on this new direction, would not be able to do. So we want to try and support our schools in the best way possible and figuring out what do they do with it. So that's the main thing that's going on. Also, at our November meeting, we're going to try and make it financial based. So helping schools with how to keep accurate records, how to deal with banking issues. That seems to be a repeated theme in some of the issues that our schools have been having, where banks are requesting certain documentation or they're not receiving accurate banking statements or, financial statements from previous boards. And so there's just been a lot of financial questions and concerns from our schools that we want to try and address district-wide.
Yeah,
So
I appreciate that too, Rachel, because the one thing that that can get us into issues is anything on the financial side. So the more everyone is squared away on, the rules of the road and how do we sustain, our accounts well, I think I'm really excited about, because no one wants to get involved in something where there's concerns about, the dollars and cents of the role.
Right.
You guys are there as parent volunteers, and, that can only add layers of stress to the fund if we're not sure exactly how to do it. So I appreciate you guys bringing that up. Go ahead, Eden. I see your hand up.
So two things. Going back for a second to the food pantry thing, I just wanted to touch base on. I know that a lot of schools are starting to do for like preparation for Thanksgiving food drives. So if we can kind of maybe promote that across the district to kind of have all schools do it. I know like my school, it's student council run, but they're doing that. They're doing like money for toys for toy drives. Like they're doing all different like drives right now for that. So that was the other part. And then to go along with what Rachel was saying, there was also something that came up during President's Council about the rule on how many fundraisers in a year, the 14 fundraisers in a year. And that concern came up a little bit as well, because I know some schools happen to do a little bit more than others. So that was something else that came up. And then going back to your arts conversation, I know you and I and the council have spoken about seeing about community theater stuff in the area also, and different programs like that. So.
Mhm.
Sorry, I was in the school at the time during all that, because it was also parent engagement time. So I was playing gym and being on the meeting. So I apologize for backtracking.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, we're doing our Thanks for Giving Day walk as a district as well. We will be sharing that out widely, for community members, and that does go to a local food pantry, all of the things that are collected. So, we will be encouraging as many people as possible. I think how that becomes an organized space of the work moving forward is something that we can talk about. We do have folks that do have food insecurity across the district, and how can we help as a school district with a couple of things. One is making sure that there is clarity around where they can go if they need help, but also, in what small ways can we, offer opportunities. I know, many of our schools have created a care closet or things of that nature in their schools already. That those are things that are happening. How much that's publicized and shared is usually not beyond the school. So I think it's important that, we do highlight the great things that most of our buildings are already doing on behalf of the folks that they serve. So, yeah, but more to follow. Please keep thinking on it, and, ways that we can organize, we will. Great space for us to talk at President's Council and the CEC also. Okay. Does anyone have any new business? All right, let me make sure we still have 6, because then we can come to consensus on the minutes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. Guys, if we revisit the minutes, do we have, because I had asked you guys to review them at the beginning, do we have consensus on the minutes? Rachel, yes. Thank you. Rob, yes.
Yes.
Eden, yes. Perfect. Eduardo, we're good. Okay. All right, guys, then thank you so much for being here. We managed to give you 35 minutes back on what a regular meeting would be. I look forward to seeing you guys later and get our folks good and trained on SLT. And I thank you guys for giving that time. I know it's a lot in your schedule, so I appreciate you guys. Have a good day, everyone.
See you later.